Corruption in the Garden State claims 11. Welcome back to New Jersey Now. After a year-long investigation, 11 public officials are now facing bribery charges, with 2 already resigning in the face of this scandal. My Nine's Carter Evans has more.
Do you have anything to say?
Yes, no comment.
Mine has no
Thank
comment.
you.
One by one, 11 New Jersey public officials, from school board members to mayors and state assemblymen, leave U.S. District Court facing public corruption charges that could put them in federal prison for 20 years.
I find it particularly troubling that school board members were involved with this corruption.
The FBI says Operation Broken Boards started with 5 Pleasantville school board members allegedly taking thousands of dollars in bribes from undercover agents in return for arranging votes to award large government contracts.
These officials were not as concerned about the education of our children and about their learning as they were lining their own pockets.
The case took a big turn when authorities say the corrupt school board members referred undercover agents to other public officials in northern Jersey.
Almost as if there is a corrupt public official underground in this state where they all know each other,
including Orange Mayor and State Assemblyman Mims Hackett, who allegedly took a $5,000 upfront payment for a $25,000 bribe. Patterson Assemblyman Alfred Steele tried to run from cameras this afternoon, and he's keeping quiet now.
Sir, do you have anything to say about the charges against you?
But undercover investigators say he told them, quote, "We're going to move that deal." After taking thousands in bribes, he says, "There's not a question we have the votes."
Mayor, do you deny the charges against you?
Definitely. How am I in court?
Passaic Mayor Sammy Rivera avoided questions today, but undercover FBI agents say he told them, "I can get 4 votes easy, easy, easy." And after accepting his cash bribe to award lucrative insurance contracts, the mayor allegedly said, "It's only $5,000, but it's a start." Well, today, federal prosecutors say these arrests are only a start.
we will not give in to the corrupt forces in this state. They will continue to fight us, and they will continue to go to jail.
Joining me right now, Assemblyman Jon Bramnick of New Jersey's 21st District and Assemblyman Michael Panter of District 12. Thank you for joining us. Are either of you afraid that the public is just going to paint with a broad brush and say, hey, you know what, they're all crooks?
Absolutely. And that's exactly what the public's doing. They probably should do that to some degree because the extent of corruption is so deep that the public should probably think that, they have a problem with Trenton.
They were all Democrats. Some people are charging that Chris Christie is on a witch hunt because he's a Republican. What do you think?
I'm a Democrat as well. I don't think Chris Christie is on a witch hunt. In fact, I think he's doing exactly the job he should be doing. All the people who were indicted in my county a year ago were Republicans. These were predominantly Democrats. But, neither party has cornered the market on honesty. This is really, as Governor Corzine said, a crisis of character rather than a crisis for members of a political party, and we have to solve it together.
Well, yes. Chris Christie is doing what comes to his attention. For example, if someone has a problem with a politician or believes someone's on the take, they just need to call Chris Christie. He's not going to decide and look at it whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. But Chris Christie is setting the agenda in New Jersey, which is unfortunate, as opposed to the leadership.
I was watching the news conference that he held, the live news conference. We did not use this particular soundbite in Carter's package. I don't think I have ever seen him so incredibly angry, and I don't think it was theatrics. He talked about this just corruption of public officials, and he was incensed of how widespread it was, and he talked about this network that one public official would lead the FBI sting operation to another guy, and another guy.
Every single citizen of the Garden State of any political stripe should be incensed about this. I grew up here, and I love New Jersey. It's why I serve in public office. The majority of public officials are honest, and the unfortunate thing is that when this happens, when these deplorable acts occur, all the good things that our government does and all the good things we have to do, like lower property taxes, gets pushed on the back pages and operates under this cloud. It's why we need more hard and fast deterrents in place. We've started that, but clearly we're not there yet.
And everybody's been saying that. Everybody's been saying it for years. I've covered New Jersey for 30 years now, I think. And the rap on New Jersey is, hey, you know what? Most of the politicians are corrupt. There's a corruption philosophy almost within many public officials.
Well, 2 points. First, we had an opportunity in Trenton to pass tougher legislation to end dual office holders. And when it was passed, it exempted members of the legislature. That was a bad sign. We need to not exempt anyone from the dual office holders. But that's not the inherent problem. We have districts in this state that a Democrat cannot lose and a Republican cannot lose. We need to make sure that our districts are competitive in nature, and we need to make sure that it's a two-party system. And I think sometimes when we have that one-party system, which has occurred in New Jersey, it can create a problem.
There's a bill being proposed in Trenton right now, and I'm sure you're aware of it. And it involves anyone who is charged with a felony any public official has to automatically resign. Do you support that?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Harry, because you hit it on the head. The reality is that a bill was signed this year, and it didn't get much press at the time. I authored it in the Assembly. Ellen Karcher did in the Senate. It was signed by Governor Corzine and supported by Jon and others back in April. These offenses took place since that bill became effective, so this is the first time that it will be tested. Mandatory jail time, mandatory pension forfeiture, and being stripped of your public office.
But that's after conviction, correct?
After conviction.
Okay, what about on charging with a felony? I know there's a presumption of innocence, but unless they voluntarily resign, conceivably public officials who are charged with serious crimes, felonies, can be in the legislature, can be in the Senate. They can be voting on bills that are going to affect them.
Well, we still have to believe in the system. And with all due respect with prosecutors throughout this country, we still have to respect the system that people are innocent until proven guilty. And one example would be the situation that occurred in Duke lacrosse team. And there are times when mistakes are made. So I think everyone has that right to defend themselves. Now, the political party itself may want to put pressure on a candidate to leave office, but I think we should not upset the system.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Unfortunately.